Hi guys, Veggie Gamer back, and something a bit different here, guys. Never really post about wrestling on my YouTube channel. Over on my Twitter, often I do predictions and a couple of little thoughts and everything about wrestling. Basically, I've been I'm one of these many guys who got into wrestling when they were younger. They lost interest, and then in the last few years got back into it. And so the first pay-per-view that I ever saw live, as in like the next day on recording because it's in the middle of the night over here, was actually WrestleMania 2000, Royal Rumble 2000. Still one of my absolute favourite pay-per-views, guys. Absolutely one of my favourite world title matches between Mick Foley and it was Cactus Jack, wasn't it? And Triple H in the street fight. Unbelievable. Then I kind of lost interest like around 2004. I think a lot of people did, to be honest, guys. But then a decade ago, I got back into it, guys. It was just around the time. I think I would very regularly check out Royal Rumbles like each year because that's my favourite pay-per-view. And I'm pretty sure that it was the one where it was the one before Roman got massively booed at it. So it's the one where people actually wanted him. Were actually cheering him quite a lot, in fact. I believe it was the one where Daniel Bryan was expected to come out last, and he didn't. It was Rey Mysterio. I feel like that was it. I could be wrong. But either way, since then, I've been into it a lot, guys, especially over the last couple of years, where it's just improved so much. I actually went to Clash in the Castle in Cardiff, which was my first ever wrestling event. Absolutely loved it, guys. I loved it. Roman Reigns' entrance during that was legitimately my highlight of the year, quite frankly, because I acknowledge him, guys. I've been a big Roman Reigns fan for much longer than it's been cool to. I'll say that much. You know, I always because I got into it where I did, I've always had sympathy for it because I never understood the level of backlash he was getting. I understand to an extent, guys, but I never thought it was his fault. I think he's always been underrated, quite frankly. But that's not what we're here to talk about, guys. Because I was gonna put my predictions and takes for WrestleMania 40. Not hot takes, although what I just said about Roman Reigns might be considered a hot take to you guys. Let me know in the comments. But we're going to go through my predictions for the WrestleMania, guys, which is this weekend, 2 days now. I much prefer it now. It's to split in half because it was getting long, wasn't it? It really was. I also intend on trying to get tickets for the next Clash of the Castle, which was just announced, guys. God knows what's going on there. Some people think that it may be hinting at Drew retaining the title, but it just seems very late notice that they've announced it. But either way, that's not even here nor there. So we're going to go through them, guys. Let me know your predictions in the comments as well, and we're going to go through with the order that it is on the website, guys. I'm sure it's not going to be the order that the match is actually going to happen. So we're starting off with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits against Final Testament. It's hard to really put a prediction on this, guys, because it's hard to really care that much. I think that Final Testament have like a really good chance of actually being awesome in the future. I do feel like, and no disrespect to him at all, because obviously he's a legendary manager, I do feel like Paul Ellering is kind of making them seem less cool, in my opinion. No offense, guys, but, you know, of course, authors of pain. And you got Cross himself and everything. Very intimidating look. And then you got this guy. Either way, this is not a hate on Paul Ellering video. I just feel like he might be better off from that, and that's my take on that. But when it comes to the result, I do feel like Final Testament really needs that big win here. I really do. It's a shame because I really love the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. But I do see Cross, I'm guessing, getting his first WrestleMania win, I presume. I'm not even sure he's been to WrestleMania before because he's been booked very strangely, hasn't he? But I do see Final Testament being the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. And again, no offense to Paul Ellering, guys. Now, this match I really didn't even know was happening, guys. I think it was basically announced this week. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee against Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. A little hot take here, guys, when it comes to Santos Escobar. Does he have the most underrated entrance music, I should say, in the entire show? I love his entrance music so much. It's kind of low-key, but that's kind of what you want when it comes to heel music, I think. And so I love him just because of his music, quite frankly. Obviously, we had Dominic Mysterio against Rey in this rematch. fun fact, obviously, I was there live when Dominic turned on Ray, which was a big moment of the night. And I just think that Dominic has just been fantastic. I really do, guys. He is just... I think that he is one of the absolute best heels in wrestling right now, because I love Judgment Day. I really do, guys. They're one of my favourite things in wrestling, and they have been for years. But even I want to see Dominic get his ass kicked all the time, and so that, you know, that's the sign of a good heel. When it comes to the result, though, I feel like Santos Escobar has lost a lot recently, and as it is essentially a rematch between Ray and his son, I think you gotta go with the heels, guys. I'm gonna be going Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio just to give Dom his not even heat back, because he doesn't need that, but I feel like it would be strange for Ray to beat his son twice at WrestleMania back-to-back. So there's my prediction. Let me know yours in the comments. Moving on to the Impact Wrestling special, guys. Now, as you can see, big AJ Styles fan. Of course, who isn't? Big LA Knight fan. I remember seeing LA Knight in Impact Wrestling, obviously under a different name and everything. I remember thinking, it's such a shame that he's never going to be in the WWE. Turns out he did. Obviously, he went through the Max Dupree thing, but then he managed to get back to being LA Knight. Yeah. Now, it's a tough one, guys. I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is actually going to be an awesome match. I think it could have done with stipulation. I think it could have been done with like a... I don't know if I Quit match would be particularly good. I'm not a big fan of I Quit matches anyway, but maybe just like a hardcore match or something like that. No holds barred, or whatever they call it nowadays. I do feel like it could have done with just having like an extra stipulation, especially as it is such a ingrained rivalry since the since Royal Rumble, going back before then, of course. When it comes to the win, AJ is the ultimate example. He really is the ultimate example, guys, of he's able to lose, but it doesn't damage him at all. I don't know what it is about him, guys. I just think because he's got such respect universally, apart from, you know, conspiracies and whatnot. Let's get that aside. But when it comes to wrestling, he is respected so much that no matter who he jobs to, you know, he doesn't take damage from it. And so I think as it is Knight's first WrestleMania, he should have been at WrestleMania last year as a heel, but babyface LA Knight, I think has got to have his WrestleMania record start off with a W, and so I'm going with the babyface here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, I love that poster. I love that poster. Okay, guys, now we're going to the six-pack ladder match, which is absolutely insane. The fact there's going to be 12 wrestlers all at the same time. I do feel like there's going to be a lot of laying down, but that's always the case in ladder matches, and so I'm not complaining there. Multi-team ladder matches, I should say. When it comes to the result, obviously I want the Judgment Day to win, because like I say, guys, I freaking love the Judgment Day. I personally think, I haven't seen his New Japan stuff, guys, or his Japanese stuff, I should say. But Finn Balor, to me, is doing the best work of his WWE career. Okay, that's all I can really say, because like I say, I haven't seen much of his Japanese stuff. I think he's brilliant in this role. I really do. I feel like he seems so much more natural in this role. Back when he was a babyface, when he first moved up to the main roster, he was basically a more dull Das Wunderkid from WCW. That's why I always looked at him as, because he dressed exactly like that. But when it comes to this, I want the Judgment Day to retain. They're not going to retain, or at least they're not going to retain both titles. It has been heavily hinted that this is going to be separating the titles, guys. I mean, Michael Cole on Raw specifically noted that the match will continue until both tag team titles have been claimed. So that definitely means that we're going to be going back to Raw and SmackDown titles. I'm sure of it. I think it would make sense for a heel pair to get the first one and then a babyface to get the next one. So I am going to go with babyface, heel, Raw, SmackDown, and I'm pretty sure I've got this right. If I've got this wrong, I am so sorry. But for my heel champions, I think it would really take them to the next level. So I'm definitely going to go with Austin and, oh my goodness, I forgot his name, the Aussie. Oh no! Grayson Waller, isn't it? Yes, Grayson Waller. Sorry, Grayson Waller, if you're watching, which I'm sure you're not. I really like them as a team. I really, really do. I do feel like Austin Theory has lost so much momentum since a certain somebody has gone for the company. But I think he can be great. I think that he's actually found his feet with Grayson, and so I think it would be a good idea for them to take the first titles away, and then the second. I don't know, guys. I think it's going to be Miz and R-Truth. I think that R-Truth has been so good over the last few months. Just give it to him just for that. Sure, Miz can get a free title, that's fine. I never actually saw them tagged before, but they were called the Awesome Truth, weren't they? And so, I think that'd be awesome. Maybe he'll grab the title and now think that he's part of A-Town Down Under. Because we know what Truth is like, but that's my prediction for that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Obviously, we got some NXT representation here, guys, or people that have been recently from NXT, I should say. I don't know that much about them. I gotta say, I don't find that interesting, but that's not their fault, guys. It's what they've been given to work with, obviously. And so, for now, I'm okay with them building up their rapport, their characters, and then maybe challenging these two teams that I've just put over. And Judgment Day going down to one title, guys. I'm not so sure I'm happy about that. But either way, let's move on to the next match, which is arguably going to be the... I'm really looking forward to this, guys. I actually really am. I think it's Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso, guys. I do feel like I feel like they let this rivalry go a little bit cold for a few months at the tail end of last year. I do feel like they have done a good job in bigging it back up again. It's so interesting because it's obviously like a blood feud, literally. But it's also kind of funny as well, you know. Jimmy's hilarious, I think, and Jay's hilarious as well. But Jimmy is a heel. I freaking love his stuff where he'll like go to the high five Solo, and Solo just like walks past them, and he just I think he's awesome. When it comes to the result, guys, like I say, I think this is going to be a show stealer. I think this is going to be so good. I think you have to. I would put money on this that it's going to be Jimmy winning. Now, it's a shame, guys, because Jay has obviously lost quite a bit recently, obviously against Drew and others. But he is moving up that card. Main event Jey Uso. I think that Jimmy really needs a big win here because he really has been like the butt of the joke with the bloodline. All that aside, you want to have the bloodline being dominant early on in WrestleMania. Like I say, I'm not exactly sure what order these matches are going out. But I think that there is definitely going to be interference here. I fully expect Solo to get involved. It may even be like an early example of Bloodline rules, maybe. But I definitely think that Jimmy is winning. I would absolutely be delighted if Jay won as well. It's a difficult one, guys, because quite frankly, I want them both to win. Maybe they can hug and come back to being a tag team afterwards. I don't think that's happening. But either way, yeet or no yeet, guys, let me know in the comments, as always. And I'm going to be saying that every single time. Gunther versus Sammy, guys. Oh, now this is probably going to be a hot take, because I really like Sammy, guys. I really do. Obviously, who doesn't like Sami Zayn? Seriously, he's such a lovable guy. Gunther's reign has been, like, huge. Or I fully expected him to lose to Sheamus in Cardiff when I was there live. And that's going back a long time. That being said, I've not been a fan of the build-up for this. They're pushing this whole idea that Sammy has no chance so much that it almost seems ridiculous now, because we know that Sammy is very, very good. We know that he very, very nearly beat Roman Reigns for the title. He headlined WrestleMania last year, and now suddenly he's... I get it that it's like a Rocky 3 parody. That's what's going on with him, with the fact that he's scared of Gunther, or scared of losing and everything like that. And Chad Gable being the strange coach with him. I don't know what I think, guys. And also him overcoming Bronson Reed, who is, at the moment, no respect to him, a jobber to the mid-carder, guys. You know, that's the sort of level he's at, you know. I'm sure that will change very soon, but right now, Bronson Reed is not as, he's not, just still a quote from The Rock, he's not the final boss, exactly. And so, I haven't been a big fan of this build-up. I think that Gunther dropping the title at this point would be a mistake, especially with Berlin coming up, although, obviously, Gunther's Austrian, not German. I think that they're in danger of having Gable chance during this, guys, because I actually predicted it well over a year ago that it should be Gable that should take the title off him, and so I was fully expecting him to win when he challenged him before. But I think it would be a mistake for Sami to be the one to take the title off. Not only because it kind of moves Sami down the card, and obviously I think he has just officially been moved down the card now, especially with The Rock and all the other things that have been happening lately, CM Punk and so on. I think and I hope that Gunther will retain. If Sami wins it, I'm not going to be devastated, guys. I'm not going to be smashing my TV like people pretend to do in these YouTube videos. But yeah. And no hate to Sami Zayn at all, guys. Who doesn't love Sami Zayn, seriously? But I haven't been a fan of this storyline, and I do think it would be a mistake for him to be the one to beat Gunther's record-breaking. Yeah. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Moving on to the triple threat, guys. Now, normally I'm not a big fan of triple threats, and I do think that this would have been better if it was just Logan versus Randy. But the fact that they've added Kevin Owens to it as well makes me really think that Logan is retaining. I really do, guys. It's giving Orton and out to an extent, I think. I feel like KO is going to be the one to take the pin from Logan Paul. I think that if it was Randy Orton versus Logan Paul, it would be much better, in my opinion. And I think that there would be a huge chance that Randy would be taking the title. But because it is a triple threat, I think that really screams that it's going to be a retention by Paul. I really hope that he gets into a program with LA Knight. I truly think that would be absolutely brilliant for both of them, quite frankly. And so yeah, that's where my thoughts are with this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. There's going to be lots of stunners, I should say, and lots of RKOs and whatever Logan's finisher is. Oh god, what's Logan's? I guess it's the brass knucks in a weird way, like very William Regal. And so, if anyone thinks that Randy Orton and Kevin are winning this one, guys, let me know in the comments, because I would love to see. I think that the vast majority of people fully expect Logan to retain, and you know, predictability is not a bad thing, guys. I think that when you pretty much know who's going to be winning each match and everything. The Royal Rumble is a classic example, guys. I think everyone guessed every single result from that. It was still a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Who doesn't enjoy Royal Rumbles, though? If you think that Kevin Owens or Randy Orton are going to be retaining, guys, let me know in the comments. I think that Logan's going to retain. He's going to be standing on his Prime bottle logo. I've never had Prime, guys. Let me know what it's like. And, you know, it will be celebrating. And then I do feel that KO and Randy are just going to beat the Prime out of him. But the match itself, I do feel like Logan is retaining. Now to this match, guys, my giddy goose. Now, I got a lot to say about this because Becky absolutely was my favourite women's wrestler back in the day. I say back in the day, just like a couple of years ago, guys. I was really on board with the man stuff. I do feel like after a while it started to go stale. I think it didn't really help when people started saying that she's the new Stone Cold. I do feel like they pushed that a bit too much, quite frankly, because Becky's, you know, the first Becky, not the second Stone Cold, and so I think that she's been brilliant. She's obviously had like quite a while away from the main event scene, and I think that has actually done her a lot of good. I feel like that could really help out Charlotte, quite frankly, because I think Charlotte is one of the greatest women's wrestlers ever, quite frankly. But I do feel like the fact that she comes in and says, yeah, I'm getting a title shot. And it's kind of like the meme. And it's also, they're doing it intentionally and everything. But I do feel like it also damages her. And so I really appreciate what they've done with having Becky take a step away from the main event title scene. But always be there, you know, like, you know, coming face to face with Rhea and stuff like that. That being said, guys, I am a massive Rhea Ripley fan. I think this you could probably take as a hot take. I think that she is already well on her way to being the greatest women's wrestler of all time. I really do, guys. I don't think she has a weakness in her wrestling. I think her promos are amazing. I think her in-ring stuff is fantastic. I think her look is just phenomenal. Her redesign has just been so great. It was basically when she joined the Judgment Day, wasn't it? And she slowly became Mami. The Mami thing's a bit strange. But it's obviously a reference to Eddie Guerrero, so it's fine. But yeah, I think that she's absolutely brilliant. I absolutely want her to win this match. I really do. I think that she will. I do think that she will, guys. This is basically the story of Becky defeating the most dominant champion in women's wrestling for a long time. Against Rhea defeating the 4 horsewomen, isn't it? Because she's beaten everyone else on the main roster apart from Becky, I believe. I think that it'd be interesting to see what they do with Rhea next, if she were to drop the title. But I do feel like it's definitely what I want to happen. I think it'd be best for business for her to retain, and I wouldn't be mad with down the line if she dropped it to Liv Morgan. I think that Liv can do the babyface thing very, very well, like the underdog babyface, I should say. And so that's where I see it. Obviously, there's history there as well. It'd be a shame if we went through this reign of Rhea Ripley and we didn't get Rhea versus Liv, which I'm pretty sure we didn't, did we? We got... Oh, maybe we did, because we had Raquel Rodriguez, didn't we? But I'm not sure if Rhea versus Liv has actually been a title match. And so I think that will be next on the cards if Rhea retains. But if Becky wins it, that's also fine. I do think it would be a shame to bring Rhea's reign to an end, but it has been a year long, guys. And then Rhea obviously can then move on to the Liv rivalry. Or maybe they'll get back together as a tag team. I don't see that happening, but either way, let me know your thoughts, guys. Like I say, 2 of my favourite women's wrestlers of all time. I just feel like Rhea is on such momentum. And granted, earlier on during her reign, she wasn't defending it much, and I know that did rub a lot of people the wrong way. As a heel, I think that's kind of acceptable, but I do understand it, though. But that's my take, guys. Is it a hot take to say that Rhea is the greatest women's wrestler at the moment? I don't think it's that much of a hot take, but maybe it's a hot take to say that I think that she's on her way to being the greatest, because I honestly do, guys. Either way, that's my opinions on that moving forward. So we must be getting to the nitty-gritty, guys. We are Io Sky versus Bayley, guys. Bayley's winning. I think that's kind of obvious. I've enjoyed this storyline. My only issue with it is that Io has basically been like the 5th most significant person in the storyline. I really do feel like that, guys. I feel like I don't know how good her English is, because she doesn't really cut that many promos from what I've seen. If I'm wrong there, guys, I apologise. But I do feel like the storyline... Damage Control, its entire run was all about Bayley. And even with the now with the split and now with the rivalry, it's still all about Bayley. Then I think that the Kabuki Warriors, which I can't believe they're still called, have been fantastic these last few weeks. They look like they're having the time of their lives. Dakota Kai has been great as well, and Io is just kind of like hanging on there, you know. I'm glad that she's had a long reign with the title. I don't think anyone's expecting her to retain it, because then what do you do with Bayley? So I think Bayley's winning at WrestleMania, which will be awesome. But I feel like they could have done a little bit more to help Io. She should have become the new leader, and she doesn't feel like the new leader. It doesn't feel like there is a leader now. And if I'm wrong about the promo stuff, guys, I apologise. I mean no offence. I just personally haven't seen it. But either way, nice cool looking title as well. If you want a hot take of mine, guys, if you want a very hot take of mine, I might actually be buying a commemorative title, and I'll do like an unboxing on the channel, and I'll be getting what is my favourite title of all time. And it might surprise you. Some people might be disgusted, in fact, but it's my favourite. That's all I can say. Right, either way, moving on to Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Obviously, there is a lot to discuss here, guys, because this is going to be taking place after the tag team. In fact, let's do the tag team straight away. It makes sense to do this one first. My take on it is this. If Seth and Cody win the tag match, then Cody is losing the next night. This is the thing, guys. I don't know who is winning between Roman and Cody. I know that it's kind of hinting at it being Cody. It really is, but then it did last time as well. I do wish that The Rock didn't say the whole thing of if you lose, then then you won't get a chance at the title again. I feel like that line really hit home that Cody's winning. If he hadn't said that, I really wouldn't know what's going to go on here. But because of that, and just because of the way the traffic's going, for the second night 2 main event, I think you've got to have the heel stipulation in the main event. And so I think that Roman and The Rock will win. Who's going to get pinned? It's a tough one, guys. I'm going to say Cody is going to get pinned by Roman. I don't think they're going to have Seth being pinned. And that is because I think that he is losing against... he's going to lose this match. Let's put it like that. We'll discuss it in a moment. But when it comes to the tag match, guys, I do see that it's going to be Bloodline Rules the next night. It makes more of a story. You then have your freaking war with like Jay coming out, Sammy coming out, KO coming out, maybe even Orton coming out. I don't know if Rollins will be, because I feel like Rollins will pretty much be dead by that point. God, I hope there isn't any. I should say things like that. I really should say things like that. But he's going to be, out of commission, I should say. I think that the Bloodline Rules will be in these Night 2 main events. So I think that it is going to be Roman and The Rock winning. And it's good press as well. It's good press to say that The Rock won at WrestleMania. So there you go, guys. Going back to the WWE World Heavyweight title. I think that Drew has been so good that they would be insane to not put the title on him. That being said, the fact that we have Clash at the Castle in a couple of months, and the fact that they really are not mentioning the briefcase at all, and the fact that it's Seth Rollins who famously did something similar a few years ago, I actually think that after the tag match, Seth will still be fighting his best, and Drew is about to take it, and I think that the Judgment Day music will hit, and I do actually think that Damian Priest will walk out of WrestleMania with the title. I know that's controversial, guys. He would have just lost his tag titles as well. Very possibly that Rhea's lost the women's title. I feel like I'm in a minority here, guys. I think it's Drew or Damian who are walking out of that match with the title, and so, and I think that most people would say Drew, and I think that Drew absolutely deserves it. I just think that they're going to swerve us and make Clash at the Castle maybe the moments where Drew gets the title, and then go into a program with CM Punk afterwards. That's where I see it. But Drew has been so good. And I haven't been a big fan of Rollins' babyface over the last few months. I do feel like he just downplays the matches that he's going into rather than actually bigging them up. I think the one thing that Cody is fantastic at doing is bigging up the matches that he's going to be the babyface in. I do feel like Seth has basically been saying, yeah, I'm going to beat you easily to Drew. And that's kind of like, okay. Anyway, that's my take on it, guys. And then obviously, when CM Punk eventually wins off Drew, most probably, you then can have what was originally meant to be at WrestleMania, CM Punk versus Rollins. Maybe next year at WrestleMania, I'm not too sure, but either way, that's where I see it. Damian Priest winning, guys. I don't know. I think I might be wrong there. That's my prediction either way. This is getting long, guys. I didn't expect it to be so long, so let's move on. Right, so The main event, guys, night 2, in my booking would be, with my predictions, or falling into slot, I should say, would be Bloodline Rules. If it is Bloodline Rules, I do feel like this is when they're going to be pulling the trigger and putting the title on Cody. I think it's going to be an absolute war. I think that everyone's going to be coming out. I think that even surprises are going to be coming out, you know. You may even have Triple H coming out. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't want that to happen because of his health. That's the way I see it. If it is no Bloodline allowed, I think that is very heavily hinting that there might actually be a heel turn or someone else coming in that's not expected. And so the thing is, guys, I would have been perfectly happy with it being Roman versus Rock if they didn't do it in the stupidest way possible of Cody just giving his spot to The Rock. I hated that so much. And so I would have absolutely been for it because, like I say, I'm a massive Roman Reigns fan. I really, really am. And also that would mean that he would overtake Hulk Hogan in the longest reigns of all time. I think around SummerSlam, wasn't it? There was also the whole connection with the Rhodes family and SummerSlam as well, which apparently is a thing. I don't know the complete history of that. But because they bottled that, in my opinion, since so much, and maybe it was all planned in advance, I don't believe that for a second. But because that all happened, I feel like they are going to be making it here that Cody is going to be finishing the story. And it's going to be an awesome moment, guys. I cannot wait for it. Seriously, last year's WrestleMania match was so freaking good. Just the entrances were so electric, you know. Roman's, what was largely called Final Boss entrance at last year's WrestleMania, was freaking cool. It was freaking cool. I loved it. But I do feel like this is probably when he's going to drop. I do think that he's probably going to take some time off, and then he can go into a campaign with The Rock. I guess it's possible that The Rock could come out and say, well, I never was part of the Bloodline, but he has said that he's part of the Bloodline, so then again, he's the boss, he can do what he wants, can't he? So maybe Hogan will come out, make sure that Roman doesn't overtake him, maybe? Jeez. Oh, that'd be crazy. Anyway, guys, there are my predictions. The last few, I don't know where it's going, and that's the best state to be in. It really is, to not know. Some of the others are a little bit more predictable. And I don't mean to be down on any particular matches. I'm sorry if I seem like I was. Like I say, guys, this isn't a wrestling channel. I don't know if I'll ever post anything like this again. If there is interest in it, like I say, if I do get that title belt, I might do an unboxing. If there is interest in it, then maybe I'll make a separate channel and we can do stuff, because I love discussing wrestling, guys. I really do. It is a place where I often give hot takes. I have hot takes when it comes to wrestling, guys, often, which Damien Priest winning at WrestleMania is one of them. But yeah, if you want to see more, let me know in the comments. I don't know how many views this will get, but I thought I'd do it just because it's WrestleMania coming up, and normally I just tweet out my predictions. I thought I'd make a video this time. I didn't expect it to be over half an hour long, guys. I'm so sorry. Please like, subscribe, all of your stuff. I'm VeggieGamer, and I'll see you next time. I just realised that when editing, the WWE website, which I was actually, the official website, didn't actually include the Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi match against Damage Control. I mean, is there any point in predicting it? I think that unless there's going to be a massive surprise heel turn out of one of Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi, which I'd be up for, guys. It'd be very interesting. I think that there is no way that Damage Control winning that match. So I thought I'd just throw that in there, guys. If you disagree, let me know in the comments, guys. But in my opinion, to quote a certain entrance music, there is no chance in hell that they're going to have Jade Cargill lose her first match. Like I say, unless there is a heel turn amongst them. I don't know which one it'd be, though. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Anyway, there we go.